Did you say something, Yancy?
I'm going to do it now.
Okay. It is 5:30. I'd like to call a meeting to order. We're all present. Michelle is virtual. Carol, Chad, and Phyllis is online. Before we start, we'll do the flag song. Okay. I want to welcome you all tonight. Thank you for coming. We will need to go into executive session for personnel mainly. And I just got a message from a parent. She's going to call in to exec on the phone, so. Wilbur, are you here to address the board?
Yes.
Okay, we have Wilbur Smith here from Parmalee to address the board. Welcome.
Thank you. Well, I'll try to make it short. Okay, I know you like some. Anyway, I thank you again about our school that is going up. Chad, thank you very much. When I seen that school going up, first going up and every day I go by there, just get a lump in the road. I really I feel really good anyway, let me put it that way. Glad to have that new school going up. And I guess one of the things I wanted to address was this what's going on with this COVID and all the students that are online and how many are not doing so good. I don't know what the plans are actually, what's going to happen as far as especially the ones that are going to be going to the next grade or whatever. It sounds like the percentage is quite high. So I was wondering, you hold those students behind that are behind are lacking a lot of that stuff they need to be in the next grade, you know. I myself don't really like to see those kids held back. I know, would you say they have to be passing the 4 core subjects or whatever it is? But you know, as they go along, they probably can check up or something, catch up, but something should be done while they're in that next grade if they're passed on to the next grade. You catch them up some kind of way, some kind of a plan in place for this. You know, because I hate to see a bunch of kids being held back again, you know, overcrowded classrooms and whatever you're going to have and however you're going to set up the new school year. You're going to have a certain amount of time for some come in the morning, some come in the afternoon, or whatever you're going to do. I don't know what you're gonna do, but either way, I'd like to see something set up where these kids are not held back. And a plan put in place where you can gradually catch them up, some kind of tutoring or something on the side. And that was my main concern. Now, I got to thinking like the other night, Pine Ridge, they have this tech school. We talk about the immediate things, but I think we need to talk about the future too. Years back and even now and years ahead, you're still going to have them same kind of students who academically are not inclined that way. I know Pine Ridge has a tech school, but at one time I pushed for vocational training of some sort for some of our students. I approached the superintendents from St. Francis and that county about this. We need some kind of a school set up for these type of students, so they can have some kind of a skill. A lot of them won't be going on to school, especially like it's known that our kids out towards Farm League, a lot of times they're not doing so good when they come over here. And I think we can look ahead and start planning for some kind of vocational school. So they can have some kind of skill to have employment here on the reservation. Many aren't going to leave the reservation. And once years back, I approached Job Corps about it. They said they can do it. So I approached the superintendents again, both schools, and let them know this. Nothing's ever happened. I even approached the council to try to push this, but nothing ever happened. But that's something I'd like to see some planning going into for the future. I had something else in mind. I'll be back later on to say some other things. I guess I'll just let you guys get on with your meeting, and I want to thank you for your time and wish you a lot of luck in the kids. Hope for their safety. These are hard times, and I know in our community we have supposedly had a couple of deaths. So one of the things I want to talk about out of respect for the family, I didn't want to talk about it right now. Right, thank you.
I want to thank you for coming, Wilbur. And I'm happy that you've been involved in education for all these years. I mean, ever since I've been in education, you've always been, coming to the schools and a lot of the stuff that you mentioned, I will say that it's things that we have talked about.
Okay.
So I just wanted to assure you that, we're all on the same wavelength. So
Okay.
Thank you, Wilbur.
Thank you, Wilbur.
Thanks, Wilbur.
Thank you, Wilbur.
Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Moved by Shelley. Second by
One second.
Tim. All in favor?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
5-0.
Got one caller on there. I'm not sure who that is.
Micah, is that you on? Okay, just. Carol, superintendent report. Carol?
Yes. Good evening. So just want to let everybody know that some of our email accounts have been hacked. So you need to be careful. The state has been notified and they have worked on the issue. So just so people are cautious and pay attention to that. The leadership team was sent the Todd County School District contact tracing and case intervention process that the Todd County School District nurses use as a reminder. Home symptom screens for families from the nursing staff was also sent. along with policy EH, the service and animal policy. Todd County School District Comprehensive Needs Assessment update was completed May 5th as part of the Title I requirements. The school success action plans from the attendance centers were reviewed and updated. This week is Nurses Week, so we appreciate their dedication, loyalty, and hard work. I want to make sure that we acknowledge them and thank them if we see them. There'll be an 8th grade drive-through honoring that will take place Thursday, May 20th from 1 to 3. The route is outlined on the flyer that will be going out and that you have in your packet tonight. Tribal Ed will meet with the leadership team tomorrow morning to review the updates to the RST Truancy Law and Order Code that is in draft form. And then we can look at how it matches up with our current handbook. Marlies Whitehat invited us to participate in children's mental health awareness parades across the district. In her thank you to staff, she mentioned how good it was to see the communities of Hedog, Upper Kootenai, and Parmalee. Families were happy to see staff, and the communities have been busy doing spring cleanup. Bids are open for the demolition of the Oak Creek School, and they will be doing an on-site visit later this month. So if you remember, they wanted to get that started early in the summer so it could be completed. So in your packet, the first set is what I told you that the admin were reminded of last week. And then the next is the reports from the administration. And do you have any questions?
Can we talk about this contact intervention process? How that came about?
The
High school
flow
district
chart one? The flow
case
chart?
contact, yes.
That's directly from the CDC, and then the nurses adapted it for Todd County. They have been on Zoom calls with all kinds of State Department of Health people all year and work very closely with the task force here. They're in direct contact. They know who to contact, and it's worked very well. That partnership is very nice.
So as a superintendent, were you involved in the flow chart?
Yes. Early on, I probably sat in more meetings than the nurses. And as things got more settled, then I invited the nurses to all of the trainings. It was kind of a state level first and then district. So, but the nurses are very confident with that flow chart.
And you are working with the task force?
Yes.
I mean, they're involved in all of this?
Yeah, the nurses contact them directly. So our point of contact, there's one for each district, and our point of contact for Todd County is Roxanne. Makes it easier than trying to communicate with 2 or 3 people, so.
Any more questions, board?
Carol, any other parents or groups contacted you about using schools for their honoring of their 8th grade graduations?
Yes, we've had a few. We've been consistent with not allowing that, but are getting some requests for other things now. So mainly though for celebrating life, funerals, services like that.
The reason I ask is because you are doing something for the middle school and nothing's being done for the outer schools. That's why I asked.
All the schools have something planned. They just don't have the same numbers. I know He Dog is doing something. Tiana schools are doing something. It just isn't maybe a parade. But those kids are all being, noticed for their work and for moving on.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Condolences to you for your loss.
Thank you.
Shelley?
Nothing right now.
Thanks.
Oh, before we do go on this thing, did any of all the complaints we dealt with the dogs last time, all the dogs that are being in the schools, are they service dogs?
I just sent that policy out. I'm sure there, from what I know, that some are not. So the administration will have to tell staff that if it's not a service dog, they should not be in the buildings.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
There's a number of things that, remember I mentioned if we needed a work night, and that's one of the things that I think we should talk about because the pet issue comes up a lot. And so we were thinking about when we said our work night, that we could address that as well, one of the things.
Roberta just told me that Spring Creek is having a parade and Lakeview is having a Zoom moving on ceremony. And that is in her reports.
No more questions in regards to Carol's? Not at this time, Carol. When we do go into executive session, there may be some personnel questions. No more questions from the board. On to consent agenda. Does anybody have anything they want to pull from there? Michelle, did you get a chance to look at the consent agenda?
I did.
Are you good with approving that? Nothing you want to pull?
I don't have anything I needed to pull.
There was one thing that jumped out at me, but I don't want to pull it, is two retirements that are coming, some ladies that have been here a long time that, Phyllis Littow and Marie Regal. I would just like to publicly thank them for everything throughout the many years. And just give them a shout out.
Agreed.
I also agree. They've been so good to help us all these years.
Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll motion.
Moved by Tim,
I would second.
second by Michelle. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. 5-0. Um, 8-1, approve the ESP agreement. Do I have a motion to approve the ESP agreement as submitted?
I've got one question before you vote. In the agreement, we talked about this before. It says that there's one payroll deduction allowed. We still can't approve that because it's still in the policy procedures that we allow two. I don't know what the procedure would be. I don't know if we can approve that. We'd be going against our own policies.
That's just something we could table.
Tim, it's Chad. Hey, this is for next year, so we have time to change that policy.
So it goes into effect when?
July 1.
You have to have 3 readings first, right? Do we have? 3?
No, not for the policy itself, no. So we could bring that policy to you the next board meeting, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, that will work.
Yes.
So we'll table that to the next board meeting. On to 8.2, ESP recommendations. Do I have a motion to approve ESP personnel actions for the 21-22 school year?
Same thing applies there, right? Because it's in your that bargaining agreement too, with having one of them.
Both of this is staff. They're recommending for.
Next year.
Just the personnel actions is all it is.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, Tim, I would disagree that we're tying these together, but I mean, if you're whatever you guys want to do is fine. But I don't think you need to correlate the two and hold each of these up, so.
And these are just personnel actions, right?
Yep,
All right. Thanks for clarifying that, Chad.
you bet.
Do I have a motion?
Almost.
Moved by Tim,
A second.
second by Sage. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
5-0. 8.3, professional degree and non-degree contract renewals. Recommend to offer these for the 21-22 school year as submitted. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Moved by Tim,
I second.
second by Michelle. All in favor?
Yes.
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 Yes,
5-0. Non-certified supplemental offers. Recommend to offer non-certified supplemental contracts for the 21-22 school year. Do I have a motion? Moved by Shelley,
I'll second.
second by Michelle. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
5-0. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
Personnel matter.
Yes.
Almost.
Moved by Shelley,
Second.
second by Sage. All in favor?
Good time.
5:53. At 5:53. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
yes.
5-0.
Executive session.
No, no, there's nothing to vote on there.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
Nothing.
more.
Oh.
Yeah.